Hello and welcome to yet another value. And this time it's going to be the value of prosperity. Now, true prosperity is appreciating what you have. And that's so very important because sometimes we misunderstand it already. Prosperity, people think, oh, I want a bigger home, I want a beautiful car, I want. But we should really appreciate what we already have, our health, our family, food in our belly, a roof over our head, heating in our homes. All these kind of things are things so many millions of people around the world are still hoping for. See, most people desire prosperity, but there are many who believe that to be wealthy, one must participate in corruption. They do not connect honesty and character with success. And yes, I could say an awful lot about it, but if you look around the world at the moment at our leadership and politicians and some other kind of people, then we see what that looks like. And we see how the countries are getting run down because of it. But that's for a whole different time. But prosperity. Others believe that riches are bad and poverty is good. Now, this may be true in some cases, of course, but for the most part, this certainly is not true because nowhere does it say that we should live a life in poverty. No, it says that actually in many good books, it says, probably all good books, and you know what I'm talking about, it says that we should live the best life. We deserve the best life. You deserve the best life. You deserve to live in prosperity. And if that is just to make sure that everything is taken care of and that you have a healthy, that you're healthy and you've got a wonderful family around you, you're surrounded by amazing people, then so be it. Yes, of course, there's natural. It's natural that most people would like more and wish for more, but more is available for sure. But that's not really what we're talking about at the moment. See, prosperity is a reward for doing what is right through perseverance and effort. Now, the principles of patience and hard work go hand in hand with lasting prosperity. See, I just talked about most people would like more and wish more. Now, that's not a very good strategy for getting more. See, we are also talking about the value of perseverance there and the right thinking and patience. There is so many of these kind of things and hard work. And some of these values are still to come, by the way. But it is so important that we really pay attention to the fact that we need to actually set ourselves a plan. The value of planning is there as well. Set ourselves a plan and follow that plan and be focused. Don't go all over the place. No, we need to focus on what we want and then persevere. And we might and remember, we don't have to do any of this on our own. We might need to look for other people, for experts and all kinds of people who will be with us, but we never need to do this on our own. But we need to stick with it. See, there is in Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich, which he wrote in 1937, there is a whole chapter on persistence and perseverance. There are very similar things, but I mean, it's so amazing. And there's an exercise for it as well that we give and we teach Think and Grow Rich for 14 days to read that chapter completely word for word. And if you fail again, you need to start over again. And it's amazing what happens. It'll show you whether you've actually, if you can't even do that for 2 weeks in a row, or some people take 29 days to get there because they have to start over and over again because they forgot for whatever reason, stuff happens. I say get up half an hour early and do it. But perseverance is also part of getting that prosperity that you so dearly wish for and so really deserve. See, most people want to be prosperous, but they do not want to pay the price to acquire prosperity correctly. It is a true saying that quitters never win and winners never quit. Which one are you? I hope you will never quit. And if you have done so in the past, know now that as long as you keep going in the right path and keep finding solutions and keep working towards the goals you really want, it might not come when you want. I mean, it's in the value of sowing. I talk about it. When farmers sow seed in the ground, first of all, they don't expect when they sow corn, they don't expect it to grow cabbages. So you reap what you sow. But also they also know, and I know it's common sense, another value that usually not common nor sensical, but it's also that they don't expect the next morning to wake up and to see their corn 3 feet high and ready for harvest. No, it takes time. And some takes more time than others. I mean, I talk about Chinese bamboo that takes 5 years to come out of the ground. But when it does come out of the ground, it grows 90 feet within 6 weeks. You can see the stuff growing. But for the first 4 years, nada, nothing. but it needs to evolve. It needs to cultivate inside that soil where you plant your seeds. Perseverance is key, but never quit. So prosperity does not always have something to do with monetary value, of course. See, we can be prosperous when we have our health. We can be prosperous when we have family and friends around us. And we can also be prosperous when we give rather than receive. Now that also talks into significance, and that is something, there's many people who become very wealthy and they were miserable with that wealth, and they die lonely and miserable because they're empty inside, because they never had that feeling of significance. Their wealth was so important to them, even though it's only a tool. It was more important than people. And then they never felt that significance that they could have if they started giving more. And it's giving not with the intentions to be recognized, look at me, no, giving with the intentions of not getting nothing in return. But knowing fine, you do good for other people. Now that's also prosperity. Prosperity 101. It's a top level of vibration where we do such things and we feel that significance. And when you get involved in these values properly, you will start feeling that significance. I've told my story about it, and this is not the time, but I found it. I found the difference between success and significance when I went to Guatemala 8 years ago, and that's why I got involved in this. And I feel so prosperous, and I feel blessed and highly favored every single day. First of all, because I wake up. That's prosperity 101. Many people would change, and people said to me, "Oh, is that all?" When I used to whistle into work on a Monday morning, "Why are you so happy?" You know, the greatest thing happened to me ever. And they said, what happened? I woke up. I said, "Is that all?" I said, "Well, if you hadn't done that, you wouldn't have been here today. That's the first thing we need every single day, and we should be grateful for it." Some benefits of practicing prosperity. And the first one is our efforts will be rewarded. We will find that things will tip in our favor, and our work and activities will be very satisfying. And I can vouch for this. I actually love what I do. My father is a great example to me, because he took us all from the Netherlands to Scotland when he was 40 years old, 5 kids, started afresh. He's 84 next month. And he still does it because he loves what he does. And I can honestly say I follow that in the footsteps. I also love what I do. And it's a joy to behold and a joy to see in my father as well. And it keeps me alive, it keeps him alive and kicking a long way at last. But also, another benefit is we develop into goal achievers, and then we are able to influence others. See, when we develop our talents and strengths, we will love the work because it will have a sense of accomplishment. I always talk about purpose and passion and perseverance, and also purpose. See, when we grow ourselves, it's the only way we can actually ever reach our potential. It begins with developing ourselves. I talk about it in our self-care series. I talk about it in our values, and I talk about it in my personal development courses. Also, when I do coaching workshops, it's also so important to ask ourselves the right kind of questions so we can develop ourselves and make sure that we actually walk into our purpose, because everybody's got one. Some characteristics of a person who has prosperity mindset. Prosperous people work hard. They practice patience and live with hope. See, where there's hope in the future, there's power in the present. And that's what really drives these people, which contributes to prosperity. Now, you might say, but I mean, there is a saying, work smart, not hard. I mean, they go hand in hand. At some point, you need to work hard, even when you're working smart. It doesn't all come flying into you by accident. Some people got wealthy by accident, and that's when they actually put some numbers on a lotto ticket and they got it. But they won't stay like that because they haven't got a prosperity mindset. They haven't got a wealth mindset. They only knew they got money, and most of them lose it within a very short period of time. And are worse off afterwards, by the way. Partly because they felt what it was like and they let it be taken away. So the second characteristic of a person who has a prosperity mindset is that they often create something out of nothing, or transform something that was left over or wasted into something better. See, when you think about it, that's, there is story after story where something didn't work, and because of some people having the right kind of thinking, they created something else. I think butter, margarine was created from something totally different. And there's other things that were created because something didn't work. And all of a sudden they found out, hey, we can use it for this. And something else was created. Prosperous mindsets. So 2 steps again, as you know, you get 2 steps to follow to become more prosperous. And one of them is seek prosperity and pursue it. See? As with everything else in life, prosperity starts when you desire it and then do the right thing to create it. Now, again, Napoleon Hill's book, in the very beginning of Napoleon Hill's book about Think and Grow Rich, it is about the power of desire. So he talks about desire first, because if you don't desire it, see, most people don't desire their job. That's why they actually just exist, because they hate their job, they don't like what they do, and they do it because. And then there's plenty of excuses and the right reasons. But in the end, if you're not doing what you were meant to do, probably because you haven't found your why, so get to my course, Find Your Why, and it'll help you. But if you haven't found that passion, that purpose that will really get you out of bed in the morning, then you're just getting up on a Monday morning, and Friday afternoon can't come soon enough. The week is just a stopgap between the weekends for you. And then you live your whole life like that, and you wonder why, and when you look back at the end and say, I wish I had, and I was never spent more time in the office. No, I wish I'd done more, I'd been more, I achieved more, and I'd done what my heart actually speaks to me about. So the second one is, be a producer. Many cultures are designed to create consumers only and not producers. And there are a lot of this can buy. Be careful and don't let anyone deceive you. See, when we become producers, we gain influence and contribute to the good of society. See, life is really in the hands of the producers and the world of this world, because they are the ones who create wealth. Now, we're also involved, of course, when you're on this platform, the entrepreneurial platform, because it's so important that we support and guide and help entrepreneurs to be the best they can be, to get all the tools and the tips to do that, to become prosperous in their business, to become successful in their business. And that doesn't need to be that they have to become multimillionaires, but they are successful. They make a living in something they're passionate about, and they actually provide a service or goods or a solution to people in the communities, maybe even worldwide. But that's really so important. Like, consumers only don't do this. Consumers, of course, thrive the business, because if nobody consumed, there was no point in making it. But I mean, it's got to be, what will you do? And even producers of this, to bring these values to people who will grow themselves to become better and become more passionate about what they can do. It's got to be built. Life, business, leadership, social circles, all have to be built on a solid foundation of values. And that's why we do these kind of things, because any of it and all of it will fail if there is no value system. We can see this around the world, everywhere around us. There is no great leaders. They're all failing. Nearly all of them are failing because of lack of values. Nearly all of these people who make decisions for their own greed and manipulation and all that kind of stuff, it's failing us because of their lack of values. So we need to start with our own values first, the person in the mirror. So for this, the value of prosperity, I'll give you 2 steps. What are you going to do to get a better and more prosperous mindset? I'll give you 2: seek prosperity and pursue it, and be a producer. That's 2. And you might have many more, but you can get involved in these values as well. But write down what you will do, who you will do it with, and when you will do it, and how you will do it. And then you can actually, and it only has to be a small step, but every small step builds on top of each other, and many small steps over the whole make you look back in time and say, okay, every one of those steps mattered because you matter. I will see you in the next value, and I wish you all the prosperity you are willing to work for. Take care.